In this episode of Real Stories.
He told me that he likes kids. He likes kids.
That's jail time, buddy. That's a felony in every place.
And after a while, he thought that I should get another job because my implants were too small.
This guy's looking at Gigantamax the girl's chest. When smash like if you want to see more of these videos.
The more likes I get, the more powerful my mustache grows.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, it is your favorite E-Daddy here. Oh, that's right, people are now calling me E-Daddy. Oh, well, this E-Daddy's got something special to show ya.
Yeah, baby.
Not that kind of special, though, you nasties. Oh, no, we're going to be playing a special game today. We're going to be playing Real or Fake. So many delicious and moist stories, but which are real? My sister Big Implants exploded on the plane. Okay, I'm pretty sure I don't want to do this anymore.
I got implants to satisfy my sugar daddy.
Look at that guy's face. I lost my vision, so I dabbed on the mirror. There is no way in hell that these are real. I went from being the prettiest girl in school to an ugly bald one. I'm sorry, Britney Spears shaved her head and I still would have... Can I say that?
No, you cannot. Eat daddy.
Buckle yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, because this is gonna be one wild ride. And smash like, my mom is too attractive. Is that girl in a bathtub?
That gives me an idea.
If this video gets 10,000 beautiful likes tonight, I will wear the Thanos swimsuit, I will put on the E-Daddy girl wig, and I will make myself a nice relaxing bubble bath. I will slip and slide deep inside, and I will sell the moist contents of my bath. You may have my bath juice for the price.
That escalated quickly.
And I'm only joking, by the way. I'm not actually going to have a bath. It'll be too nasty. So don't bother hitting 10,000 likes, okay? It's not happening. It might happen. It's not happening. It might happen. 20,000 likes and I'll do it.
Naughty daddy go to jail.
Okay.
I got to satisfy my sugar daddy. Yes. Subscribe for more Paparazz ASMR. You ready for this video to start?
Wink. Okay then, Blondie, let's see how you satisfied your sugar daddy. Actually, don't go into too much detail. I may be banned from YouTube.
This is the story of how I became a sugar baby.
Or should I say sugar thought?
Although that baby looks adorable, just crying on all that money. Imagine having all that money at that age and you're probably just pooping and wiping your eyes with it.
You see, I was born into a rich family.
Good for you.
My dad gave me everything I asked for.
Pearl necklace. I'm not sure he should give you that.
No wonder the police have shown up.
Police came to our house and took all of our possessions.
Oh!
I was so angry with my dad because he never told us that we were $3 million in debt.
What? 3 mil?
After that, we had to move to a homeless shelter because we had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
I hated it there. I couldn't stand this life, so I decided I was going to do something about it.
Okay.
First thing I did was that I started working at the theatre.
Oh, well, no, that's good. I respect that. I respect the hustle. If you've not got any money, you need to get money. Go out there and work at a theatre, work at any job you possibly can. I respect that, sugar baby.
Money became so tight that I was forced to start selling my things to survive.
Okay.
First, I sold my expensive designer dress and...
Why would you not sell that in the first place? If I became homeless, I'd be like, look, I can't actually store any of this stuff because I ain't got a house. So here's my designer dress, here's my designer rings, here's my designer butt purse. I don't know. Are butt purses a thing?
And eventually I ended up sitting on the street corner, surrounded by the things I used to own, trying to sell them. Soon after, I got fired from my job at the theatre because I couldn't keep up with the demands, and selling my things on the corner of the street became my full-time job.
Okay.
I often just slept there too because I hated going back to the homeless shelter and seeing my father's face. Until one time, I felt a hand grabbing me.
Stranger danger.
He's a handsome, mustached devil with a cigar in his hand.
Come with me, baby girl, and maybe we can make some sweet money together.
I saw an old man standing in what looked like a
He doesn't
designer
look
suit
old.
with a cigar in his hand.
It's not even
I
a suit.
asked him how did he get a suit like that. He must be rich.
How did you get that suit? Please spoon me.
He was impressed that I knew the designer. He said he felt bad for me, sleeping on the street corner like that, and he offered to help me. I thanked him, but refused to go home with the stranger.
Oh,
He
good
then
girl.
made
Just said good girl. It's kind of cringy.
that he wasn't going to take me home with him if that scared me. Instead, he booked me a room at a 5-star hotel and drove me there in his...
Wow, that limo had back. That
thing got junk in the trunk.
Let me on board that bad
our
boy.
hotel and drove me there in his limo. When we arrived, he took me to my room and confessed that he
502.
thought I was a beautiful woman, and a beautiful woman as myself should never be on the streets like that. He then kissed me on the forehead and wished me
That kiss on the forehead's kind of creepy when you've just met somebody who's like,
I've never had physical contact in my life. Don't judge me.
I was amazed. I guess that my job,
Should have sold them on the street.
perfect gym body and face fillers from my good days still did the job. I woke up the next morning to a letter from Tom saying that he was waiting for me in the lobby. When I found him, he took me in his limo to a really nice restaurant and we had breakfast.
Looks really
You don't
nice.
seem that impressed with
Is
the
that
fancy
steak for
lifestyle for a
breakfast?
woman who is homeless, he told me. So I told him my story, how I was rich like him once, and how we lost all of our money because of my dad's stupidity.
Oh,
Tom
God.
seemed touched by my story and offered
yeah,
to be
he
my
was
sugar daddy
touched.
because
Look at that. It's a moustache on a sugar cube. It's amazing. I love it.
my own father failed to take care of me. I agreed without knowing what a sugar baby is. And when I asked him about it, he said he'll explain later.
Oh, of
We
course you will.
went back-
You just come back to my house. I'll give you everything you want. All this money and anything you want in your life. I will make you so rich that you would think that Bill Gates was poor. But in exchange, maybe you just come over and sit beside Pappy over here. Come sit on Daddy's lap. You know what I'm saying? Wow. That went places.
to the hotel and he started showing me all the things he was willing to buy me.
Oh, yeah.
He also promised me $10,000 a week.
bag,
This was even
dress.
better than the money my dad used to give me. But when I asked him what do I have to do in return, he said that I had to be his girlfriend.
Okay.
What about the ring on your finger? I asked.
Oh, the man's not only got hairy hands. Jeez, shave them, bruh.
but his chest's like a rug.
So this guy's married. He's doing the dirty on his wife. So basically part of the deal is you better keep quiet about this whole sugar daddy business, huh? I'll keep you sweet if you keep your mouth zipped, you know what I'm saying?
You married? He said that his wife was an old lady who
My wife's an old lady. Shouldn't have married that old hag.
he can't stand anymore and that I should not worry about her.
Divorce
I didn't
her.
really want to say yes to becoming this guy's sugar baby.
But you did.
I mean, he was like 30 years old.
Okay, I am hurt. I am like hurt.
It's like I have just been shot with a
Bullet of hate. This guy, she said he was an old man before, and I was like, he doesn't look too old, you know what I'm saying? And now she's saying he's old, he's 30. I'm almost 33.
I'm past my prime. I am now an old man.
He's not old, he's 30, come on!
But I also hated the idea of going back to live on the streets like a homeless person.
Yeah.
So I agreed to these terms.
Okay, boomer.
After that,
So what she just
Tom
said
bought
to
me
him.
my own apartment and car.
Wait,
They were both fancy and I loved them.
course you did. You're a
Unfortunately, a
materialistic
thank you wasn't
hag.
enough, and I had to give him something back in return. I kissed him, wore pretty underwear for
You're a nasty, nasty, nasty. Come here and give me a mustache to kill.
and did everything he asked for. But at the time, all of that seemed like it was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Tom never slept at my apartment though because he had to go back to his house to see his wife
Obviously.
and kids.
He's had
So
kids
I slept
as well.
alone every night. When I told Tom that I was lonely, he got me a puppy and named him Alfredo, even though I wanted to name him Munchkins. And since that day, I started to notice how bossy and controlling Tom was. I began to really hate him.
Oh,
He started asking me to change myself slowly. I only wore the things he wanted me to.
Oh, dear.
It was all pretty clothes, and after a while, he thought that I should get another job because my implants were too small.
This guy's looking at Gigantamax the girl's chest.
Basically, I was a prisoner living a luxurious lifestyle. It didn't make me happy.
Like a
When I
tiger.
wanted out, Tom demanded that I'd pay him back every penny he spent on me, and then I could leave. But in reality, that was impossible to achieve.
Yeah.
Until one day, I was sitting in a cafe
And I poured boiling coffee on his junk.
and a guy came and started hitting on me.
Oh,
he
no.
said that I looked so hot, and then he asked if my were natural.
Did I just hear that correctly? Hold on a second. I just want to try something out, okay? Oh! Oh, my gentle Jesus, you are the prettiest girl I've ever seen. How big are your badong-dongs? Are they natural? Are they realsies? I've just met you, by the way. I'm Tom. But you... Real? What is this story? Who are these people?
Looks like an evil Bijou Mike.
I was furious and told him to go away.
Good.
Eventually, we got into a big fight, and that's when I had no other choice but to call Tom and ask him for help.
Oh, I bet Tom set it up. Look at that moustache man. Look at him. He's like,
Man, that's their plan.
Tom told me, "You look like a hoe."
can't win, can you?
Why would anyone treat you any differently? He then added that he was too busy for the BS, and he hung up. I didn't want to seem weak in front of everyone, but tears started falling down my cheeks uncontrollably.
I kind of feel sorry
but
for her.
then I felt a hand grabbing me, and when I looked over, I saw that it was the barrister who sold me my coffee. "Come with me," he said, and he took me to the back side of the cafe.
I would not be leaving with no man that refers to the back of his house as the back side. He gonna be nasty.
This guy's name was Edward. He dried my tears and listened to me as I told him about the guy. He was a pretty good listener, so before I knew it, I started telling him about Tom and then my story as a sugar baby and what had happened with my father. We spent
What happened to the dog? Where's the dog? Where's Munchkins?
hours talking, and I could swear that for the first time,
I swear if
I
something's
felt like
happened to
someone
that dog.
really actually cared about me. Edward took my number and said that he'll call me and help fix my problem.
Of course he did. Yeah,
At
Edward's
night,
going to be able to
I
help.
waited for Edward to text me, but he never did.
Oh, Ed.
I went to bed at 2 a.m. knowing that no one really cared about me in this world. I was just a bimbo whose whole life relied on men to provide for her.
Then go out and get yourself a damn job. Come on, be self-reliant.
I wish that I could be my own self and independent. I slept that night hugging my pillow and crying.
Oh no.
But when I woke up, I saw a text from Edward that he sent at 3 a.m.
By carrier pigeon?
It said, "Sorry, Hannah, but I was stuck at a late night shift. How are you?"
Terrible.
I was happy that Edward texted me. I sent a text back, and since that day, I started texting him all the time. He told me that he likes kids.
That's jail time, buddy. That's a felony in every place.
And that he loved traveling. He was very intellectual and read a lot of books,
Okay.
and most importantly, he had a good heart.
He did. His aortas were of perfect
The
proportion.
months of texting, I decided to meet up with him behind Tom's back.
Uh-oh.
I would see Edward every other day, and the more we met, the more I fell for him.
Edward's
I
gonna be
wished that I
offed.
could run away with Edward somewhere far away, but he didn't have enough money to support both of us. And I wanted to work, but if Tom found out, he would probably kill me.
How dare she get a job?
You are working at Starbucks? I only drink fair trade.
Until one day, I decided that I wasn't gonna let Tom stop me from doing what I wanted to do anymore.
You go, girl.
And I decided to start working with Edward at the cafe without Tom's knowledge.
Ooh.
And it felt great. I started saving the money that I was making, and it made me feel good about myself.
Good. I like
Soon
that.
enough, I wasn't spending Tom's money anymore, which meant that I was on the way to becoming independent.
Yes.
But my bad luck struck again, and I found myself facing Tom one day at the cafe.
Ruh-roh.
I never expected him to buy his coffee from a place like this, so I never planned how I should react in a situation like this.
Just ask
When
him what he
saw me,
wants.
He was very angry. Of
course he was
He
angry.
then told one of his men to escort me to my apartment before I could even say goodbye to Edward.
Wait, what? What country do you live in? Can this just happen? You can't just grab a girl and go back to the apartment. She's working. She's got a job.
His guy took me with him and drove me back to the apartment and left me there, and took the keys. When I searched for my phone, I found out he took that too. I had no cell or Wi-Fi connection anymore. Tom had basically cut me off completely from the outside world, and I had no way out. For the next week, I was in the apartment with Alfredo all alone.
Alfredo's good.
No one came to visit me,
good.
not even Tom. I felt like I was about to go insane, but after 7 days, I was surprised to see Tom visiting me. He gave me a hug and said that he missed his sugar baby. Then he started asking why did I do all of that stuff behind his back, and what was it that bothered me, as if he cared about my well-being at all. I tried to act nice to him, in hopes that I would persuade him to let me go, but as soon as he left, he locked the door behind him and left me in my prison again.
Oh no.
I couldn't live like this anymore. I felt like I was about to go insane. I started hitting the door trying to break it, but instead I broke my arm.
Look at, how are those tiny little bird arms going to break anything? Come on. You've been in the apartment for 7 days on your own. Just start doing some squats, a couple of press-ups, a couple of reps. Use that little tiny fist of yours to punch his moustache off his face.
I was in so much pain I couldn't even breathe, but I wasn't about to give up. I wrapped my arm in a bedsheet and grabbed the biggest chair I could find in the apartment
Window.
and smashed the window. I struggled to get out, but when I did, I headed to the cafe I used to work in, and I looked for Edward.
Now, I'm all about this girl. Whoop, 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 Wonder Woman. Alfredo, you've just left sharp glass everywhere. I know it's on the outside of the window, but you tell me Poochums isn't going to try and jump out that window. What if he catches his... What was if he catches his bits and pieces on the glass? Well, if he wasn't neutered before he is now. Alfredo.
But when I saw him, he was holding another girl's hand. I slapped him on
Men are nothing. Men are horrible. Look at that. Slap him
the
hard.
face and called him a cheater in front of everyone and left the cafe. But after a few minutes, I noticed that Edward came and sat beside me and gave me a big hug. He said that he was sorry and that he thought that I had left him, and he's been so upset about it.
So he's just moved on after a week? After a week, buddy? Really?
I decided to forgive him, but then he revealed to me that he had already gotten that girl pregnant.
How? This guy's got swimmers of Olympic proportions. How do you know after a week?
And that he had to stay with her to raise the baby. I was devastated, but that wasn't gonna let me give up and go back to Tom. I started working at that cafe like I used to, and I would see Edward and his pregnant girlfriend
Just what? Doing it on a chair?
flirting with each other at the cafe every day. She was a total hoe if you ask me, but I was determined to stay strong until one day a guy with a suit came to the cafe and asked me out for a date. I was hesitant about going out with more men, but it was hard for me to see that Edward had moved on with someone else.
Why is that the
so
position?
I agreed. Luckily, that guy was very rich, but he wasn't anything like Tom. He bought me everything I wanted.
Oh no, you're just falling into the same traps as always. Go out with like a Robin Hood who robs these people and gives to the poor.
But he also loved and cared about me.
Of course he did.
I guess you can say that he was my lover and sugar daddy at the same time. As for Edward, well, he would see my new boyfriend at the cafe and get really jealous. But I didn't feel sorry for him. Did you like my story?
No, not really. Well, it was entertaining. I will give you that. It was entertaining, Mrs. Double. Was it real? Was it real or fake? I'm gonna go ahead and say fake because somehow she managed to land on her feet. She had like 20 people buying everything for her. Real or fake? Let me know down in the comment section below and smash like if you want to see more of these videos.
The more likes I get, the more powerful my mustache grows. I could be a Tom.
What about Alfredo though? The dog was the best character and she left him.
Cry face.
Exactly. Where's my Bow Wow Poochie friend? I want to see like a continuation of this story next week, and it's going to be Alfredo's adventures, and it's basically like Homeward Bound. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was another My Story animated reaction video. Hopefully you did enjoy today's video. It was strange. It was strange. You're gonna have to let me know whether you think that is real or fake. I'm gonna go ahead and say fake, because it's a little unrealistic. I mean, it could be real, and I apologize if it is real and it's your story. I hope you're having a lovely life with the last fella who loves you and has loads of money at the same time. But enjoy your life as a sugar baby. Drop a like if you'd like to see more, and 10,000 likes and I will give you my bath. Or no, it's 20,000. 20,000. That was the deal. 20,000 for bath juice. Bath stank. Either way, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I've been Razzbowski. You've been the beautiful Raspberries. As always for watching, and make sure you check out the other animated story reactions. Goodbye. Wink.
My mom did things in the basement with other...
And that's it for today's video.